Reasonable Doubt was his best album.
That's like
I,
the best album. It's not
I,
like
think, I
Yeah,
think,
same here.
I think, but I don't know, man. The Blueprint, man.
The Blueprint.
That
Hey,
first Blueprint is cold.
nigga, I listened to the Blueprint. What was this? I listened to it on Sunday for the first time in a few years, and I was just like, God damn! Like I can see
never
why
changed.
that album changed rap. It
I can
changed
listen
rap.
to change like every day.
I remember when nigga, when Blueprint came out, my whole family was listening. My mom was listening to the Blueprint. My brother, me, like we was all listening to that shit. It was like that's how great that album was, yo.
Yeah, that shit was crazy, yo.
In Jay-Z's production, probably from The Gift and the Curse, Black Album, Blueprint. I think that shit was like phenomenal. That like Jay-Z, not Jay-Z, that's when Kanye and Just Blaze was like in their prime as far as the production. That shit was ridiculous. You know what I'm saying?
That Where's the Love?
Like that, hey, that's some people hate video. Kanye was like on some other shit with that beat, nigga. Like that shit is crazy. You know, like damn. Somehow, some way, like that shit was crazy.
And the Timberland joints on that joint too.
You said who?
The Timberland joint, the Dr. Dre, the Watcher on the Blueprint 2 joint.
The Watcher joint, yeah. And you know what? One of my I think most underrated Jay-Z tracks and Timberland production was the song from Randall. I know you know this joint. When It's Hot, It's Hot. From the what album was that?
Oh,
it was like you know what joint I'm talking about? Some say it's hot. I think that's
Life and Times of Sean Carter.
Yeah, that Life and Times of Sean Carter. That fucking song right there. That beat is nuts. Like that shit is crazy, young. Timberland, man. I don't know. I thank God for these dudes like Timberland, fucking Pharrell, like because their sounds was just so like futuristic. It wasn't like nothing from the past. It's its own shit. You know what I'm saying?
But like anytime you don't have to like second guess like who made that beat. Like as soon as you hear that drum, like, ooh, that's that nigga. That's this nigga.
Right.
Like it got that signature, like, and it could be different every time, but you just know that shit is that nigga.
Yeah, only he can do that shit.
And it's funny too because like Just Blaze and fucking and Kanye, they both would have soul samples, but they still both had their own little twist. You know what I'm saying? And you still enjoy because when I'm listening, like when I was listening to the Blueprint the other day, I couldn't really decide whose beats was better. Like, you know what I'm saying? They just did what they needed to do for those songs. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, so that I don't know, that shit was incredible though, man. Those fucking the production was crazy.
Immaculate.
Where's the Love?
And you know what? My favorite Jay-Z song in recent memory, which was another song I listened to over the weekend, was that "Fuck With Me, You Know I Got It." The joint with Rick Ross. Rick Ross featured on the Magna Carta joint.
Yeah.
That beat is nasty.
Got it.
Yeah, that beat is fucking nasty, yo.
Didn't Lex Luger make
it? And I was listening to the Rick Ross. You said who?
I think Lex Luger made it.
Well, he did his thing on that, and the crazy thing about that shit, I think Rick Ross got a version where it's just him, and that shit go just as hard.
Yeah, it's either Lex Luger or Mike Will. I might look that shit up.
Oh, it's Mike. You looked it up?
I'm about to.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that joint go hard.
The Pimp C sample in the beginning, that's what just bring that shit all together.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was listening to the Rick Ross and 2 Chainz battle, and I literally the next day I had to like run some of them songs back because they ain't play them. They ain't play the full song. I was like, fuck, like why ain't they play that shit too?
I know, and that's another thing I like about these battles, because they just remind you. Like every time I watch it, I always go back to these niggas' catalogs. Like I have to be doing that, you know.
Yeah, 2 Chainz had. I told you he was gonna come with a couple of joints. He came with some joints. I was like, I gotta listen to that again.
He did. 2 Chainz had some shit. He just couldn't fuck with Ross. Like Ross's catalog is just so much deeper. But 2 Chainz still held his own. It's just that, you know, you just like you don't have to do 30, 40 to fuck with Ross. You know what I'm saying? 20 ain't enough.
And Ross ain't even play some of the things that I thought was bangers too. I was wrong. He had a couple of songs with like Lil Wayne that was like just vicious, like John and some other joints. I was like, he ain't even play them shits. Them shits would have like.
I'm Not a Star.
Yeah, I'm Not a Star. Yup.
It was produced.
Okay.
That's Sanctified. That Sanctified joint rock too.
Sanctified, that beat is nasty. That Sanctified joint is crazy. Who made that shit?
Maybe Hit Boy. I'm all wrong.
But who?
It was
was it?
Vinyls and Boy Wonder.
Okay. Okay. That beat sick though. Either way.
Everything.
Yeah, that's a good topic. What's your favorite beat of all time? Like, what's your like one beat that like if somebody said what's your favorite beat? What's the first joint that come to mind? You know what I'm saying? Or one of the first.
I fuck with that Just Blaze joint on Freeway album, Full Effect.
Nigga. Like I get nostalgia. I get nostalgia every time I hear that song. You know what I'm saying? Like that shit is like I'm connected to that shit. That album, that Young Guns album was kind of underrated. It was.
And then the intro, the Dynasty, La Familia jump.
Yeah, that joint go hard.
That's another one. I made a beat off that sample too. That same joint.
The Jay-Z, it's crazy how it's all Jay-Z and Just Blaze just be killing shit. The joint, the Show 'em What You Got joint, that shit crazy.
Okay.
Yeah, listen to that.
That fucking saxophone, yo.
That shit.
That shit is cold, yo. That shit is cold, yo.
Yeah. This is the last shit I fuck with though. I just can't like pull it. Ooh, lately, that joint on Reason album, how I go from that Drive Slow beat. Remember that Drive Slow sample? That.
Oh yeah, I remember you sent me that. Yeah.
Paul Wall, and Kanye that one time. Drive.
I'm back.
Drive slow.
I'm cutting niggas off. My son was just walking. I'm cutting niggas off. My son was just walking. He'll be 1 year. August 27th. It's coming up. He was just walking. So fuck y'all niggas. Whatever y'all was talking about. Y'all can go back now.
That was his first time walking?
Y'all can talk about what y'all was talking about. Y'all can go back.
That was his first time walking?
Yes.
Oh, that's what's up.
Yes. He's walking.
Oh, cool. Congratulations.
What's
up? I know what that feeling is. Congratulations.
You be like, nigga, what are you doing right now? Look at you.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's exactly what I said. What are you doing, dog? What are you doing? Yes.
Tell him to come walk and get your ass.
Yeah, wait till he start running. It's over.
Boy.
Yeah.
Boy.
Hey Corey, I hope you know this is the beginning when he going. This is like the beginning of like when he gonna start getting into shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because he can walk now, so like he has like his vision is like broader now, so he can see more shit to get into because he's standing.
Damn,
he was
already getting in this shit.
You gotta put all your valuables away because he about to knock this down.
Yeah.
He was already getting in the shit. So damn,
man. My daughter be taking everything off the nightstand. Like, nigga, I be having to put shit like she stayed going at the nightstand. Like, I can't do nothing about it. Like,
you know what? They love the little PS4 light, so you gotta keep that shit hidden.
Oh shit!
You tap that damn disc out the jump in the middle.
Yep.
What
are you doing?
That's your whole game up.
Yeah, Doug. I'm like impressed. I'm like, Doug, what are you doing? You just crawling. Before that, you can do shit. You crawling.
Hey, Corey,
walking.
Hey Corey, but we talking about favorite beats of all time. Like, if somebody was to say, Corey, what's your favorite instrumental, favorite beat? Like, what's the first joint that come to your mind?
I really don't have one that comes to mind, but I love producers, so it'd probably have to be a Timbo beat.
Nigga, what beat? We saying what beat?
I know.
Just give me a Timberland beat.
Shit. Damn, that's too many. You got Missy. You got Aaliyah.
I didn't say one yet, but I will say the one
Give me a
beat
beat.
that like I love is that the what's it called? Throw, the joint off the Pimp C the Bun B album with the joint with featuring Jeezy, and then Jay-Z was on the remix.
Yeah.
The Get Throw joint. That beat is fucking crazy. And even pushing on that same album. That shit, every time that guitar at the beginning, that shit give me every nigga.
Hey, that joint used to come on in platinum. They used to play that joint in platinum. It'd be like, yo, it's about to be.
Everybody come in on that same beat, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
That shit, that beat something else.
Yeah, trill, nigga. Yeah.
Oh, that shit. This is the one with a feature on it with a female, but the Fab joint with Lil Mo, the Can't Breathe joint. Oh my God, that beat, that da 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 da.
Oh, the brief jump. I think
you talking about the
Fab jump.
Yeah.
Which one?
Both of them, actually.
I don't know what Can't Breathe is. I know about Superwoman. I
Breathe.
don't know about Can't Breathe, though. Which one is it?
Just
Breathe. Yes. That's another one. Yes. That's a classic beat. Hey, since we talking about classic beats, fucking the Dipset joint, Dipset Anthem. That beat is fucking crazy.
All right. Somebody. Not talking about we say tracks of the week. I'm fucking with Cam's joint, the Purple Haze album joint.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
We're talking about Killer Cam. Yeah, that joint.
But Cam New jump, Purple Haze 2, that Losing Weight 3, that jump go.
Oh, I'm sorry. He has a Killer Cam 2. Huh?
Shit. Fucking remember that Cam song? I used to get it in Ohio or some shit like that. That fucking beat was fucking nuts. That beat was fucking nuts. But it's funny though. If you listen to that shit, I don't think that beat was mixed. I think that shit.
Nah, it's raw.
Like a nigga straight up gave it to him on the seat.
Yeah.
Cause you can hear the quality. Like that shit was not mixed or mastered at all. He straight up took that shit, bounced that shit straight off the CD. Like
you bought that shit off.
You know what I'm saying?
Email.
Straight up.
And you know what joint go hard as shit? That motherfucking Mini Men joint. That 50 joint?
Man.
That's mixed.
That shit go hard.
Yeah.
That shit go hard as shit.
Damn.
Did you see the interview? Have y'all seen the interview? I'm pretty sure y'all have, where Jay was on the Breakfast Club, and he basically was like, "Yo," he went to the studio and he was like, "Hey, y'all niggas need to
on the fake property in them."
What happened?
This nigga 50 Cent is coming, dog.
He wanted, like, right before 50 Pop was popping and State Property was popping. He went in the studio and was like, "Hey, y'all better get y'all shit together because 50 Cent coming."
You'll be getting shit.
Hey, that's a lot. Jay-Z said that shit.
That just goes to show you that Jay-Z, he the reason why he in the position where he is today is because he has that mindset of futuristically seeing shit. You know what I'm saying? Like he's able to see shit before it happens, especially when it comes to like business moves. And guess what? If you think about it, 50 Cent essentially, he might not be the lyricist that Jay is, but he essentially did the same things that Jay did. Movies, so it doesn't matter. Everything. They saying it.
So y'all want to jump in?
Hey, hold up. Black Album.
Hey, hold on. Go ahead.
I seen the Black Album movie and shit, and y'all seen Hov like bobbing to all the joints he about to slide off on y'all young niggas. All these little tracks. That fucking Dirt Off Your Shoulders joint was when you didn't hear Hov going on the joint, you seen Hov knock into the joint, the fucking Dirt Off Your Shoulders joint. It was like, dog, this is the cut right here, nigga. Yeah. This is the cut right here, dog.
Yeah, that beat was sick too.
You said, wait, go back.
Beat selection is huge to your career.
Yeah, that's I feel like 50 Cent got famous off of the fucking beats. Like, if you listen to his verses, they weren't really like hitting hard, but the beats made them shits hit hard.
That first album and then the
Yeah, Get Rich or Die Trying. You cannot slight that joint because he
But
was spitting that.
I
cannot slight that joint.
I kind of feel like 50 was like the first like nigga that kind of like how it is now, where it was like a total package. It was like the story, the controversy.
Yeah.
You know, he got shot 9 times. All that shit. I feel like that was just the whole package. You know what I'm saying?
And then I'm going shit on Ja Rule.
But either way though, early 50 was nice. Though I was a big fan of early 50, man. You know what I'm saying? That nigga was nice, you know. And then it's like as soon as he started making those like songs that was like where he was catering to the radio, that's kind of like like I guess
mainstream.
Yeah,
I don't think
you're getting your money. All right, I'm done.
I don't think that 50 would have been. I don't think 50 would have been nowhere near as popular or anything. I can go on a limb and say 50 wouldn't have been nothing without Eminem. Because Eminem at that point in time was the number one thing happening at that point in time.
Yeah.
And
I would probably have to agree with that.
Or Dre.
And was like
Drake.
As soon as he signed with Actor,
he had the whole West Coast shit popping off with the East Coast shit. The West Coast shit was putting on the East Coast shit. Yeah. So yeah.
You kind of right, because he was rapping on like West Coast beats, but he was, you know, like an East Coast rapper. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Right. Yeah. And then I think Eminem put him on the 8 Mile soundtrack with Wankster, and it was just like,
you're right. That's a good point.
It was like, all right, like he did
that exposed him to the white people,
right? So like once he got that,
in the club had literally Eminem and Dr. Dre building him in the lab, like
right.
So they kind of told you. So what? 50 was an MK asset. Then that's basically what they was telling you. You know what I'm saying? They was basically straight up saying this nigga's an MK asset, right? I mean, ain't that kind of what the Dre was saying though in the video? Am I lying?
Literally like molding this nigga, checking his vitals and shit.
And that was a Dr. Dre beat. That was a Dr. Dre beat.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That shit had nothing to do with the club for real.
It ain't had shit to do with nothing.
At all.
They were in the damn desert.
Hey, but Randall, you was about to get into something. I thought you was about to like pose a question or some shit.
Yeah, but this gonna make me ask another question. With the 50 Cent shit, like, I kind of want Alan here too, because he can't keep it subjective. But I mean, back then we only had like a certain selection of music and shit. It's not like oversaturated now, but I think now, like lately during this like COVID shit, it feel like we being, you know, pushed on some shit. Like with this whole, we kind of referenced that shit last week, but
the WAP shit.
This I don't know, these videos that came out last week, Megan Thee Stallion and Cardi B, John and shit like that. Like, what do y'all think about the video, the message it's sending?
I mean, it's the same shit. You know, I mean, we pretty much kind of covered that whole shit. You know what I'm saying? It's just another example, just another one. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
it ain't shit, man.
It's nothing really positive. That I mean, what do you mean? Like where are you going with it? Like, what do you mean?
Like, I don't know, because we touched on it before it even came out, and then like soon as you said something about how they force feed you, Lil Crowley shit on the radio versus like the stuff you're accustomed to on your playlist.
Hey, look, they call me Corey Mo because I used to listen to all that Chopped and Screwed and all that shit, whatever the fuck. So I follow my nigga Slim Thug, of course, on IG or whatever. He posted this joint of some lady rapping, or I'm not gonna say rapping. She was singing from back in like 1920s or 1953s or whatever, and it was in response to the WAP video or whatever, talking about how vulgar the WAP video was and all that shit. And this lady had said the most ridiculous shit I have ever heard, dog, on any song. Dog. I swear to God, she was So, I'm talking about 1950s, 1920s, or whatever. Talking about I will make you shit or whatever. I'm gonna put this pussy on you or whatever, and I'll make you shit or whatever. And
I've heard the song.
it's a,
I've heard old songs and shit like that. I never heard a song.
nah, dog. That was the first time I ever heard it. I thought it was.
I've heard some of those old songs was like reckless though. You know what I'm saying?
Can you relate that can you relate that one song out of the like stuff that's in mainstream like radio right now? Like these junks are talking about, wet ass pussy on the radio. Was that song on the radio?
No, that was some underground shit.
All right then, yeah. So it's not.
I know you saw. You remember the Dolomite joint? Remember that Dolomite movie that came out and how he kind of got on because he was doing like kind of dirty little like jokes, but it was like to beats. And then he brought that one lady on and she was doing like the same shit. I like all that like dirty shit was like that was like mixtape shit. That was like underground music. That wasn't mainstream, but that shit is like the shit that we got now in mainstream is like worse than all that shit. It's like,
because you had songs like Super Freak. I mean, now, like, do we give the sexual songs, let's say almost 40, 30, let's say 30, 40 years ago, do we give those sexual songs a pass simply because, it was a love song? Or like, you know what I'm saying? Like what? Like
I see what you're saying.
Like,
it wasn't. I feel like it wasn't.
I feel like it wasn't descriptive like that.
Yeah, there wasn't blatant. It wasn't blatant.
Some of that shit was blatant, dog.
Nah, 30, 40 years ago, they was like talking about like, fucking courting and.
Now you gotta listen to.
I mean, I agree with Brian though. I agree with Brian because there was songs like that came out in the '80s that was like super sexually suggestive, but it wasn't like blatant.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? It was like
the thing is that might touch back.
It was a song called Sugar. Like a song called Sugar Walls. That shit was a hit. It was on the radio, but the shit is called Sugar Walls. What the fuck they talking about? They clearly talking about pussy in that goddamn song. You know what I'm saying?
But it might touch back like, with the last episode we was talking about with it being
girl,
underground.
Because I be sampling shit. You know Minnie Riperton? You know Minnie Riperton? I think that's she's some actress's mom and shit. What's that half black and white actress? That's what's her name? On SNL. Who?
From Bridesmaids, yeah.
Yeah, but anyway, Minnie Riperton, if you used to listen to her music used to be super sexually charged, but she had like such an angelic voice that if you got caught up in the voice, you ain't listening to the words. Like it was one song, she was like, I want you deep inside me. And that was like, goddamn, I sampled that shit, but when I'm like, I'm making the beat, I'm like, goddamn, this shit kind of like, you know what I'm saying? Like, shit. But that's what I'm saying. These songs have been
R. Kelly joints. R. Kelly? Are we serious right
now? No, I'm talking about before.
I thought y'all was talking about 30, 40 years ago.
I mean, I'm talking about at least the disco era and forward. The disco era forward, that shit was reckless. You know what I'm saying?
Look, I'm saying.
Did you listen to some of Marvin Gaye shit?
Last season.
I know y'all listen to some of Marvin Gaye shit. Marvin Gaye used to be on some pimp shit. Like, I don't know if y'all noticed.
Yeah, Yeah, but I don't know. I feel like even Marvin Gaye wasn't like blatant with it. He wasn't.
Are y'all hearing like what these hoes were saying?
That's what I'm saying. It's not. He ain't talking about like I don't know, bro.
Okay, yeah,
it's not the same. It's not the same. It's not the same, but it's also like, all right. At what point did we give a pass? Did we stop giving passes?
Exactly. That is my whole point.
But this
what I'm trying to say, because we had the whole episode last week talking about the are they trying to fuck us over with the whole rap shit and all that shit. They want niggas to do stupid shit or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying. It got to that point where they had the whole their little committee or whatever saying, oh, this is what we want to promote and shit, and want to promote denigration of the black folks and all that other shit. You know what I'm saying? So like Marcus was saying, yeah, that shit was that's equivalent to what we would call as mixtapes back then or whatever. But now this shit is mainstream. And
hey,
pop music. pop
So
music. They fucking butt ass naked talking about wet ass pussy. Like,
Yeah, that shit is mainstream. That would have been.
I agree with Randall. You're right. I
I
agree. I think it's. I just think that it like back then it was more like subliminal sexual innuendos, but like now that shit is in your face. Like they ain't even trying to play it off. You know what I'm saying? So I do agree with that. I do agree.
So
with that.
I miss part of it, but I think it's always two things. So I think the first portion is like literally. I think that shit is a little bit like the wet ass pussy, like that shit, and like that song, like literally, like once that jump kicks off, it's like it just starts and it's like, oh shit, is this what we get into? But like at the same token, and it is mainstream, like that shit is mainstream, and they changed the wet and gushy or whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
Really, if you think about it, like
nigga, that's just as bad.
Yeah, if you think about it, like when we were, and I won't say when we were growing up, like you also had the Uncle Luke and the "Don't stop, pop that pussy, I want to see you do the burn, I want to rock." Like that shit was like a party anthem. Like those shits were party anthems, and like you know what I'm saying, those shits took over like parties and like different things of that nature. And even if
they remember put it in that Akinelli joint, put it in the mouth or some shit like that. I remember when I was young, I was in like fifth grade. I remember my older cousin, she was probably like 16, 17, and she used to have that shit playing on repeat. And I used to remember my young ears was just like, oh my gosh, like you know what I'm saying? Like
remember the joint from the 504 boys? You ain't gotta say too much. Remember that joint?
But that's what I'm saying. Like those jokes were like party records, and like I don't think I mean, I might be wrong, but I don't feel like them Jones ever like made the mainstream like media.
You had to search.
This Joan is, but and like of course if we went to parties and like they played that shit, but like now like that shit is.
They was underground joints.
Is two of the top artists, and I think that I don't know. Like my only take on it, well, one of my takes on that song is I feel like they just needed like somebody to, if anything, soften that shit up a little bit. Cause like at no point in time during that whole song, it was just like wet ass.
They trying to outdo each other.
It wasn't nothing like to like bridge the gap of like, all right, we gonna ease y'all into this shit or nothing. Like it was literally like, boom, we right here with it. No.
Like that should have been like a soundtrack on Booty Talk or some shit.
What about the Genuine joint, the Genuine Pony joint? Remember that joint?
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like I understand that.
Niggas know what they was talking about though. With that
I understand that shit has changed, but I'm just trying to figure out when can we kind of narrow it down when we stop giving that pass.
But every time y'all give a reference though, y'all saying the lyrics, like the video itself. You know what I'm saying? We used to have to watch shit like that on BT Uncut. Now that's
with a box.
That's true.
And did y'all see? I'ma just revert back to that. Did y'all see that Clout video of what's her name? Shit.
Cardi B?
Cardi B? Yeah. She don't got nothing on.
I didn't see the video.
I was like, how is this possible? She don't have anything on the whole video, bro. It's like paint. She got paint on. Like, this shit is crazy. That shit wasn't flying back in the 80s.
That's what I'm saying. That's nice.
Yeah, I mean,
90s.
But we spent the power for that.
So how do y'all feel about the because you know, we have our perspective as men, we're older, you know, we all in our 30s and shit, but like what about the mind of like a young 14, 15-year-old girl who may not have somebody in her life to tell her this is not good, because even within that same 15-year-old girl might have like a mother that's 35, 36 that support that support Cardi B, that support Meg Thee Stallion. So if you got a little girl that's growing up and her mother is supporting this shit, what do you think how you think that's gonna influence the mind of like a young girl, especially a young girl going through puberty? You know what I'm saying? Let's say she about 11, 12 hormones kicking in, and her introduction into womanhood is fucking, you know, Meg Thee Stallion and Cardi B's wet ass pussy video. Like, do you think, how y'all think that, like, you know what I'm saying? Because I look at that shit like, I look at that shit like this, right? If you a child and you sitting there in the car and you see your parents listening to music and then you listening to the words and then you see your parents like this, you know what I'm saying? You're going to start.
That's what I'm talking about.
Okay.
At the end of the day, it's
even though to the parents, even though to the parents it may just be
No,
entertainment,
no, it's
but to
not
the
even
child
though.
they
It's
really don't
parenting.
know. You know what I'm
It's
saying?
parenting. What are you putting out in front of your children? Is parenting at the end of the day. It's parenting. It's parenting. You like at a certain age, you're not
Some people don't got
putting.
that luxury.
Nah, that's bullshit. That's
What?
bullshit.
Some people definitely don't got that luxury.
We
That's
mean, oh
bullshit.
yeah.
What do you mean?
But no, Corey. I think what he's saying is that everybody doesn't like. Of course, like parenting is important, but there's a lot of parents who came from fucked up households, and now they're trying to raise some kids, and they don't know shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like kind of like every kid isn't afforded a mature parent with a. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody's
Oprah
not
would say,
afforded
you
that.
gotta do
A lot
better.
of people. I no. You're right, but what I'm sitting there saying is that everybody wasn't born in circumstances where they had parents who can actually teach them something. Like some
Yeah.
people are literally raised by kids. Like there's a lot of people out here who are children in adults' bodies. You know what I'm saying? Raising kids. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
And they, like that shit we talking about. That creates that generational shit that we talking about. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Now,
I understand. That's a good point. That's a good point. Because I don't know, even like with I don't know, like old songs like because you can even take like I don't know, like the Aaliyah, the Rock the Boat joint. That's a sexual ass song, but it don't seem like it. You know what I'm saying? She talking about stroke it, man. You know what I'm saying? It's like, but we like you said, it's different. Like these chicks is like mad, like in your face.
Well, then what you're saying is perspective.
They're aggressive with it.
Mad
What you're
aggressive.
saying is perspective. You're saying it's perspective. Then at the end of the day, what's his name? Lil Duval. He put a meme out there the other day talking about it's twin boys or whatever, and they're grown up by a what do you call it, alcoholic dad or whatever. One boy says, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna grow up and I'm drinking or whatever, and yeah, this is what I seen. This is because of my dad." And then the other boy says, "No, I'm not gonna drink at all because yeah, this is what I seen because that's my dad. He was alcoholic, so I'm not gonna drink." You know what I'm saying? So it's all perspective. Is what you're telling me. So
and so I know, Marcus. You asked how does it affect them? I feel like the video can affect them as well. Like a 14-year-old girl that sees, Cardi B and Megan Thee Stallion. I think it also goes to like body insecurities too, because I think operations and implants and all of that shit is like at an all-time high, and if she's seeing that that the girls is being sexualized and they talking about having good pussy and so on and so forth, I feel like that influences a lot of teenagers that are that young as well, because they're like, I gotta have a body like that. That's what men like, or so on and so forth. And they only 14. They ain't even like grow up yet. So
I want to know the guys with the daughter's perspective. Lighthouse, you got a daughter, right?
Yeah, I got two. I got two daughters.
And Brian got a daughter. I want to know what your perspective is. Go ahead.
I mean, I'll say this. I'll say this. Like as far as like even this wet ass pussy video and shit. I feel like if you're a young girl, you going through puberty, right? And like you want to be able to relate to males. Let's say your hormones start kicking in. You like boys, right? Like, but you're not being taught anyway how to be compatible with a male, like on a personal level. It's like the first introduction to dealing with men is having good pussy. So a girl will think that all she has to do is have good pussy in order to like get a mate. You know what I'm saying? And we all know as men, it helps. I mean, it helps, but that's not all you need in order to, be a complete partner to a man. And I feel like what happens with a lot of these girls is that, they'll hear these stories and then they think all they gotta do is have good pussy, but then they can't keep a man and be trying to wonder why. You know what I'm saying? Because they're not being taught the any other values. You know what I'm saying? They're not being taught to bring anything else to the table. But if you 14 years old and you 15 years old thinking, oh, this is what I gotta do to get boys, and then that boy you start dealing with leave your ass after you gave him your so-called wet ass pussy, then you jaded for the rest of your fucking life. You know what I'm saying?
And that
so it's like,
had to do with what I was saying about women not being too feminine out here in these streets in the U.S. America, dog.
You gonna get a whole record
Exactly.
company, as you keep saying.
Go ahead.
Again.
Some
Streets of America.
people gotta hear this shit.
Go ahead.
It's near
Go ahead, Brian. Go ahead,
There's too
Brian.
much shit going on out here.
Saving
Go ahead,
lives out
Brian.
this bitch,
See,
nigga.
I couldn't have put it. I can't put it no better than what Lighthouse just said. I mean,
Yeah.
man, I mean, because that in itself, I mean, like you look at your daughters, like you want the best for them. You
It's
know
the
what I'm saying?
apple of
It's
your
like,
eye,
and
man.
like even like sometimes like even like within the household, like I know that like when I'm riding and I got music on in the car, and you know like sometimes I'm not even consciously aware that like I'm just rocking out, but you know what I'm saying, I'm just doing me. But then like I got her in the back seat, and it's just like it's like
Let me cut this shit off.
it's a
Yeah.
lot, man. It's
Yeah.
a lot, man, and like you want to shelter, especially your girls. You
Yeah.
want to shelter them
Yeah.
from a lot of things, but like Lighthouse said, it does. It's a different dynamic when the mom or the woman in the relationship is like very supportive of that type of music. And you know what I'm saying? And then if the mom and the daughter have a close bond, and you know what I'm saying, like when I'm not in the car, or if the male is not in the car and they just jamming out, you know what I'm saying? And like they rocking out, and you know what I'm saying, but like it's like it's like at what point do you step in and it's tough. It's not easy. It's not easy raising girls.
Hey, I'll use an exact example of what you're talking about that actually happened to me. I'll use an exact example of something that actually happened to me. Like, so when my kids were actually younger, like I used to actually listen to more rap music in the car, right? So I remember like one day, my kids used to love what's it called, ASAP Ferg, like Shabba Ranks. I used to play the clean version and all that shit, but like Shabba Ranks. What was that other ASAP Ferg joint? They used to love that song when I played in the car, right? And then one day I caught my daughter rapping the words back. You know what I'm saying? I was like, hold up, wait a minute. Like, you know what I'm saying? I didn't want her, when I saw her like trying to rap the words to the song, I was like, okay, I'm influencing her whether I realize it or not. And then that's when I stopped playing those songs in the car. And this was like 3 years ago. But I realized when I saw her rapping the words back, I'm like, she don't even know what she's saying. You know what I'm saying? Then that's when I stopped playing that kind of in front of them. You know what I'm saying?
So I just have a question right there. Do y'all think it's more? I mean, do y'all think it's also aligns with like making sure that y'all I guess set the boundaries and set the rationale that music is entertainment. I know you also still set other boundaries and have other conversations, but also allowing them the opportunity to listen to music and as a stream of entertainment, but not necessarily listening to it as a focal point for life. You know what I'm saying? If that makes any sense, whereas though you're listening to it and you don't think like, so I guess hypothetically speaking, or I'll just say, speaking as it, like, even we talk about the Wet Ass Pussy song, like you can say, oh shit, like this beat go hard, the song is a good like party record or to get ready to or to get dressed to, but at the same time, like literally, you know, there's other focal points within life that come into being a woman, being a person, as opposed to just thinking about it in one aspect of Wet Ass Pussy or whatever the fuck you want to call whatever song it is at the time. So do you think that conversation, I mean, I know we know that conversation needs to be had, but do you think it's also like a conversation that makes sure that you know that your child knows that music is entertainment and can only be entertainment for the
honestly, Al, man, at this point, like the way they have access to, there's no sugarcoating it.
Yeah.
They're going to have access to it. The only thing you can do is just be there for them. Like if they have questions, and like you can only shelter them from. So I mean, every single kid, mostly all kids from, let's say, starting from the age maybe 6, 7 and up, they have a phone. They have access to YouTube to watch. I don't care if it's Yo Gabba Gabba or whatever. It gradually gets to the point where they start to listen to their own music, and that music is what they hear on the radio. And what's on the radio? This song is on the radio. It's on the fucking radio.
Wet ass pussy.
It's on the radio.
Yeah, and I'll say as far as like the aspect of entertainment, all that shit, like you know, we all try to separate things and be like, okay, this is for entertainment. I'm not gonna take this too seriously, but the mind of a child is so impressionable. Like
Yeah, it is.
it's hard for them to separate fantasy from reality. You know what I'm saying? It's really hard for them to do that. We can tell them that, but it's like, especially if this is coming from adults, they're more inclined to listen to that shit. You know, it is what it is. But and like that whole conversation, that there's multiple times when we keep talking about subconscious mind. The subconscious mind of a child is probably even more fucking susceptible to bullshit. So it's like, you know, I mean, you can title it entertainment, but if that child is indulging in that shit, it's going to influence them.
I mean, how do we teach those? We teach children with songs, so like that shit is easy for them.
With song, with repetition.
I mean,
Good point,
we talking about the hypnotized mind shit we was talking about the other day. Is like you get a beat that helps with the hypnotic aspect. You got the hook, which is chanty, which is tap. Is like a spell. Like literally, like these songs are spells.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that's literally what that shit is. You know, a beat puts you in like a trance. So then when you're doing this, it's like your brain is opening up.
Right.
And
guess what? And guess what's in the background of that song? It's some holes in the cell. It's some holes in the cell. It's just in the background. And it's just
that joint
talking to your subconscious. Talking to the subconscious. Talking to the subconscious. The brain is picking that shit up. Your brain is picking shit up.
Another aspect to consider too is peer pressure and what all of your friends are listening to as well. Yep. Because if you think about it, that's probably all 14-year-olds are talking about since that video came out. And they were like, you know, I don't know about y'all, but I feel like kids have been growing up way too fast, you know, these days. And I know it's going to continue because that's just how life is. But I've heard of 13-year-olds, you know, and 12-year-olds talking about sex. I'm like, bro, why do you think that is? Why do you think that is? It's because it's acceptable and it's being transmitted through, you know what I'm saying, through videos, through radio, through everything. And it's like, all right, so let me talk about how family members are raised too, right? So like, I'm not sure if anybody has like a family with like 2 or 3 or 4, you know, siblings. But you know how the first son or daughter is always like strict. Like you got to do this, you got to do that, you got to do that. The second, it's a little more lenient. The third is like, you got a curfew.
Do whatever the hell you want.
And then the last one is like, you could do whatever the fuck you want. Like I feel like that's how generations are, and we're at the point where we're just feeding everything into, you know, like we talked about it was supposed to be uncut, right? It was supposed to be after dark, BET After Dark or BET Uncut. You can see this shit like in broad daylight, like at 12 noon, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's way more accessible.
You're right, Paul.
It's way more accessible, and I feel like all of the peer pressure and everybody's probably talking about the same thing. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just literally just making your point. Like it's no way they can avoid
it. And look at it from like, all right, so what kind of the videos was coming up back when we was like going through puberty and shit? It was like that fucking like, you know, Shake It Fast, all them fucking like a big pimping. You know what I'm saying? Like look at how those videos was, right? So now you got a generation of males and females that was like, you know, just seeing, like, even you can go to MTV Spring Break. Remember MTV Spring Break? Used to have like wet t-shirt contests and shit on that little MTV Spring Break. So we was getting hit with all this kind of sexual shit. Now you got a generation who was kind of raised off that shit. They're desensitized to it. So even though we can have this conversation and be like, I don't know, this shit seems like a little too much, there's other people out here who full go be like, what's wrong with that? Why are you judging them? But those same people had it that way because they was raised off that same shit that we was raised off. Like they was watching ass booty shaking videos before they was fucking in middle school. You know what I'm saying? So these same people were like, what's wrong with that? That's all I know. It's just a little bit of ass. What, you afraid of ass? It's like, no, it's not about that. You know what I'm saying? But some people look at that shit like that. But some people look at it like that. You know, I feel like we're a very mature group. I feel like we are, but I feel like a lot of people are not like us. You know?
So what do you say to the person that says, okay, well, it's just entertainment?
But the thing is, because
I say it's just parenting.
No, it can't be just entertainment because for whatever, I mean, all right.
Parenting.
Jesse said this because women feel empowered and stuff, right? It's just entertainment. You got to know how to know the differences and shit.
Right.
But once it makes it on radio,
parenting.
Once it makes it on radio, you are influenced other people. I said it last week. You got to know your celebrity. Yeah. You have to know your celebrity. That shit's on radio. If you want to make shit for, you know what I mean, for BET Uncut, make the shit, you know what I mean? You got to put 18 and up, you know, access to get the shit.
Okay. Yeah. I can see that. Yeah. So you're saying that if you're going to be raunchy, but know to be raunchy to like an older crowd, but don't if you're going to be like that or have a wet ass pussy song and you produce this shit on radio, then that's crazy.
Right. That's radio and YouTube. You don't have to put in anything to watch her jump on YouTube.
That's true.
Yeah. But like who has the most what genre has like the most views on YouTube? Child stuff. So of course, a lot of those views are child views.
Yes.
And mine. I watched it once.
Yeah, I mean, I had to.
I watched it too. I will say, and I know we talked about this too. That beat go hard as fuck. Yeah. And if you a grown adult and you with your wife or your
I'm saying, that's what I'm saying.
In your own room. I don't think there's anything wrong with that shit.
That's the point I'm making, bro. That's the point.
Yeah, we are adults.
On the radio.
Say it again, Brian. Say it again.
We are adults.
Parenting.
God damn.
That parenting shit now. Wait till that nigga get his eyes.
And you're right, Randall. But
parenting.
You're right, Randall. But the issue is that when it goes to the mainstream, then that's when you know that it's gonna hit the ears of the children. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Because the kids don't even really know where to look. You know what I'm saying? But when you present something to them on a mainstream level, now they know, like, oh, shit, I never heard of Meg Thee Stallion. WAP, what is this? You know what I'm saying? Like, and then that's all. And then you got a whole motherfucking catalog of all kinds of wild shit. You know what I'm saying? Same thing with Meg. You know what I'm saying? True. So it's like that's all the fucking
That's true.
All it takes.
None of that shit.
You just open their eyes up.
I'm just asking. If the parents is listening to Migos and all types of other 21 Savage, all types of other shit going on, you know what I'm saying? So you can you not blame the kids for fucking with the WAP shit or whatever the fuck?
Now let me ask you this. Is that type of music worse than like gangster rap or like the other side of the spectrum?
It's all the same shit. It's all the same shit.
It's all the same shit.
All the same shit.
That's what I was saying. It goes back to what we was talking about last episode.
They're gonna have an attack. I look at the gangster rap shit as like an attack on the boys, and then all this like, you know, city girl shit, an attack on the females. Like that's just how I look at that shit. You know.
Yeah.
Only the younger, like I said, if you're an adult, it's one thing. But I'm talking about the young, impressionable minds of children.
Yeah.
That's a completely different conversation.
That's the whole point. It's not even a completely different conversation. That's the whole point that I was trying to make. Because we talk about game or whatever. Are they trying to make it out? Are they trying to fuck up these young folks? Are they trying to get them in jail and shit like that? Are they putting specific shit out just to, you know, fill that prison population? You know what I'm saying? Yeah,
I kind of feel like this song is like the male equivalent of like that Tatiana joint, because I feel like it was kind of like the same agenda. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like a lot of little girls probably like, oh, I'm a Tatiana and I even know the probably never had sex, but you already, you know what I'm saying, identifying with that type of shit just because it's popular. You know what I mean?
That particular one might not be off the prison population, the prison complex shit, but yeah, it's still all they're still all trying to drive people to a certain agenda. You know what I'm saying?
I think the Tatiana joint, the crazy part about this one, as opposed to the Tatiana joint, is Blueface. He might have been a remotely good name, especially on the West Coast, but that
Never. That's the only song
name.
I know about that nigga.
He became a mainstream name just based off of that little Tatiana.
Yeah.
Megan and
Can I
Cardi
ask,
joint.
does anybody know another song about this nigga?
It don't matter. That song was a big song, so
But does anybody
did what it
know
was supposed
another
to do,
song
you know?
other than that song?
Corey, let me finish my point. The only
Finish your
thing
point,
is,
but finish your point by telling me, do you know another song by this nigga? Please.
I don't.
Huh?
Nah, go ahead.
Quiet.
Exactly. Go ahead, Al.
I don't.
Nobody knows another song by this nigga. Go on.
Go ahead. What was the point you was about to make?
nah, so the point I was trying to make is like that was a one-hit wonder, and like he was pushed by, I don't want to say he was pushed by mainstream, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, even as he comes and goes, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he doesn't have staying power. Like Meg and Cardi, like with the WAP jump, like they had remote staying power. Like they have a catalog. I don't want to say they have a true catalog, but they have a catalog. They have a following. They have a base and everything along those lines. Like, and so for them to push that song, it wasn't like it was, like I said, it wasn't like it was a Blueface that came in the game and literally came out with that song. It was a Meg and a Cardi. That's
Yeah.
And it wasn't
like
necessary.
And the video and the words wasn't as bad as Cardi's. And
Oh no! I don't mean. I mean, what I'm saying they're saying is it was. I'm talking about like as far as like how the message behind the song and how much it was pushed. You know what I'm saying? I'm not literally talking about like comparing it like as far as what was bad. I'm just talking about the overall message of the song and how big that song was.
Oh, okay.
Because that song was a big ass song.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that's basically all I'm saying.
Gotcha, okay.
That's all I'm saying.
But you were saying like at what point they were in their career too? It's like you got to factor in.
Yeah.
Oh, and that staying power shit you was talking about. So they obviously they have staying power because they have a big fan. They have a big what's it called, following fan base. So who are the majority of the supporters of Meg Thee Stallion and Cardi B? Like, why are they so powerful? Who's supporting them?
Strip culture.
They're the Nicki Minaj culture, which is why Megan had a song with Nicki Minaj. Do
you think that's literally
so
what it is?
Megan
you
is
think
supposed to be the new one
because of the strip club culture?
I remember we went to the radio one time, me and UMB, and I was like, bro, to get on the radio, you have to have songs for females. That's the only thing that's on radio. You have to have songs for females. Whether you sing for female.
So you basically saying you think women support them the most?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
sure.
women are the biggest supporters of
it. Dudes buying that
women are the biggest supporters of anything.
You know, for real? But the song was called Wet Ass Pussy. Aren't they trying to stimulate the men to get us to buy their records because their pussies are so wet? Like, isn't that what they're trying to do?
No.
So they're not making the music for us, so they're making it for the females? So I'm kind of confused. Like, so they're the content of the music. So why would women support that?
That's what they want to be. That's what they want to be.
That's the culture now.
That's what they want to be.
That's the culture now.
I also think
niggas ain't buying music. Niggas ain't been buying music for a long time, nigga. We've been fucking stealing music off of Bubster, cause music for a long time. So yes, yeah.
So why is it degrading? Why is it degrading? Like if a rapper was like, "Oh, that bitch had some good pussy, I fuck that bitch," that's degrading. But then if a woman, "Oh, my pussy is good, I fuck that nigga," it's empowering. Like,
I was gonna
can someone explain that to me? Like, cause I'm just confused. Like, maybe I'm missing something here. Like,
I was gonna say that. So, like, if that, so this is the premise, right? If you got
you're not missing nothing at all.
If you got songs out and you saying this, and then one of your exes or your dudes say that in public or to somebody that's interviewing them, why would it be offensive? That's a good question. I think that could be a question that's proposed.
So I think the is, and not necessarily getting into that question. I'll go back to the other question, like why women are buying it and why women are pushing that and why women enjoy that song. I think the reason women enjoy that song is because it's an alternative. I mean, it gives them that alter ego that most women love. So like, the alternative the alter ego that we love, whereas though it's like a woman in the streets with a freak in the sheets or whatever. So like, you know what I'm saying? Like this,
like that.
Huh?
That sound like a freak in the streets, nigga.
Yeah.
Like that.
No. I know that this song does. But
That's all that song sound like a freak in the streets.
I know, but at the same time, it gives women the opportunity to actually like to identify with the song with a tough ass beat, but it gives them the opportunity to identify with this. It might give them the opportunity to identify with the song with a tough ass beat, but also identifies with something that they enjoy to be ratchet to. Like
yeah, I know what you mean. I get fully what you mean.
Like some women love to be classy, but at the same time, they still love to enjoy that ratchet side. And like some women love to enjoy that classy side. I mean, they are truly classy, but they enjoy to be that ratchet side. And like even when they're bumping in the car or when they're bumping in, especially like right now where everybody bumping in the house and shit, like it's that opportunity to actually have or brag about the opportunity to have wet ass pussy or wet and gushy and different things of that nature. So
can I fuck it up real quick?
What'd you say, Corey?
I'm just asking. Can I fuck it up real quick though? Real quick. I would say it's the same. Oh, okay. I can't fuck it up. All right, go ahead.
You frozen, Corey. Go ahead.
Frozen?
You frozen, bro.
All right, look. Am I frozen now? Am I frozen?
Yeah.
Yeah, you froze, bro.
But can you hear me though?
Yeah, go ahead. Say what you gotta say.
All right, so look. So this I'm gonna say, dog. I equivalent that to the same reason why Joe Biden got Kamala Harris out this joint. Because first off, niggas are not buying fucking CDs or music or shit like that. Because being able to bootleg that shit for to slice bread.
Bro, you breaking up.
You out there.
Yeah.
And you got
Call back.
All right, call back in, bro.
He's supposedly supposed to be getting the black vote.
We can't hear you.
All right. Yeah.
Marcus, was you about to say something?
What was I about to say? You said about the need. I mean, yeah, I understand that, but that even goes to show that that's a very strong emotion that needs to be expressed because Meg out here killing shit. Cardi B is out here killing shit. So that means that level of support for that level of ratchetness, like that speaks volumes. I don't know if you know what I'm saying? Like that says a lot. Like you know what I'm saying? Like I don't know.
But
because it's like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, no, but what I'm saying is like what positivity comes out of that for the overall, like, is it all right? It's like, okay, they have a need to express themselves, but at the expense of the kids, you know what I'm saying? At the expense of the little girls and the little boys hearing this shit, like, is it worth it?
You completely right, but at the same time, like even as we think about that, like we think about like them being able to express themselves and like how we think about and I don't want to I once again I try to take everything for what it is and like it's entertainment, but like you think about like the Love and Hip Hop and the Real Housewives of different things, and that's another thing that is shaping like the culture and shaping the mindset of some different women. Whereas though some women look at it as like literally as reality TV, but then some women also look at it like, you know what I'm saying, like that is an opportunity for a lifestyle change and whatnot. And so like I think that's just I don't know.
Bruh, this is a topic.
We need a woman on it. We're gonna get a woman on. We're gonna get a woman on one of these jokes to talk about this.
That'd be cool as shit though, because like
but that's what I'm saying. I mean, yeah, I mean, like, all right, we gotta be real. Like, yeah, we can, but not everybody. Like, not the average woman. It has to be a very like reasonable woman, because I feel like if we do bring a woman on here, it's gonna just be unnecessary. You know, I mean, y'all know what I'm talking about, man.
Yeah.
She got to be able to reason. You know what I'm saying? She got to be able to debate without. You know what I'm saying? Y'all know what I'm trying to say.
We level headed. Like we can go in a circle.
Yeah, be level headed. There you go. Yeah, exactly.
I got a question.
Exactly.
I got a question. All right, this is something I was kind of I was looking at the Discovery Channel the other day, right? So just follow me on this. All right, so sound, right?
Oh my God.
Sound trap. No, listen to this. Listen to this. So sound travels at 343 meters per second. 343 meters per second. And we've broken that sound barrier years ago. We broke that bitch, right? So much so to the point where we started making hypersonic planes and shit that, you know, they create the sonic boom, and we've been going Machs and shit like that, right? So, you know how like in those jets and shit, like you see the jet go, but like you broke the sound barrier, but you don't hear that sound until like maybe like 3 or 4 seconds later, right? But that sound technically still exists, right?
Yes.
So light travels at 300 million meters per second, right?
This is a smart dumbass nigga. If y'all ain't know, but keep going.
So look. So if light travels that fast, so like if you're talking about going faster than the speed of light, like time travel is technically possible. Technically. No, I'm serious.
Say that. What was that last line? What was that last line?
I said time travel is technically possible because if you're traveling faster than light, if light is traveling at such a speed to the point like you're essentially just like that sonic boom, that sound that you hear. If you break the sound barrier, you create sonic booms. You're separating the sound from the actual physical thing, but that sound still technically exists because you still hear it in the physical form. Now, if you're traveling faster,
okay, I see what you're saying.
If you're traveling faster than the speed of light, you're still essentially you're creating that sonic boom, but in light form. You see what I'm saying? So if you're creating that sonic boom in light form, technically you can like travel like within there somewhere. Like you're able to like live in the past or like go into the past, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, I mean, I think I know what you're trying to say. It's kind of like you know how like if you look into a mirror and you get like a certain angle, like if you have two mirrors against each other and then you see yourself in the mirror just keep going into infinity and you don't even see where the shit stop. You know what I'm saying? It's like sound. They say that everything that you do, every sound that you make, like energy doesn't die. So it's like even the words I'm saying right now, these words are still, even though I may not be able to hear it with my own ear, but it's still echoing into eternity. You know what I'm saying? It's like everything that we do is constantly echoing into eternity. So like even within that, everything that we experience in real time may not be real time. You know what I'm saying? It's like thunder. Like how many times have you seen the lightning? And then like 4 seconds later, you hear the thunder, like the boom. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But real time, the lightning was there. But the effect, like the effects of it happened 4 seconds later. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like as far as time travel, if that can happen like that, then time travel probably is a possible thing. Like if it can happen like that, where just because you ain't experiencing it in the moment, don't mean that's what's actually happening in that moment. You know what I'm saying?
Right, and that's what I'm saying. So with that being said, do you think that I'm pretty sure the answer is yes, but I have to ask, do you think that they've been fucking with that shit? Like trying to like time travel, like because like this shit is crazy.
Yeah.
No, it's possible.
But
I don't know if there's any like blatant evidence of it. You know what I'm saying? But I feel like it's definitely possible. I think it's possible. Yeah.
I would, if they did, I wouldn't think they would have it like foolproof. Like it wouldn't be. I think it would be one way. Like they did it and they never came back. If they did that,
like on some looper shit.
But you know how they say that like there's the multiverse and there's like other versions of you that exist in infinite ways. Like I can't remember because you know I've been looked up a lot of shit, but I remember this one video I watched. The dude was like saying he basically said like every situation that you go in. So let's say you like walk across the street today, and then you just walk across it. Then like there's one time and there's like a possibility that you could have got hit by a car. That same moment that you walk by the street happens in other like multiverses or other universes. It's still you, but like at some point in another place you did get hit by the car, even though you didn't get hit by the car in the existence that you're living of yourself right now. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
Like every experience kind of plays out in a multitude of ways, you know what I'm saying? In different universes and shit like that. You know what I'm saying?
Sometimes where deja vu be coming from, because like you know you haven't lived.
Yeah, I ain't got no shades. I feel all like out of place and shit.
But that when people say they had like deja vu, but you know you haven't been in that certain space at that certain time with the scenario. So that's why I think like that multiverse shit come into place. It's just you like connecting to it just at one point in time, like where you experienced a different scenario the same way. It's wild.
Yeah.
Or like I said, have y'all ever met somebody for the first time and you felt like you met them before? You know what I'm saying? Even if it's one conversation, you know what I'm saying? Like I've experienced that shit before. So like I think that's definitely probably like we probably do exist in different. Like man, I remember like some saying like there's another person on the planet who looks exactly like you somewhere else. You know what I'm saying?
I found like somebody sent me a picture on IG and they said this is you, but the picture was from somebody like 60 years ago. They were showing like his father's father, and like they had a picture. So this girl screenshot the joint, sent it to me, and the motherfucker looked slam like me. It's scary.
That shit crazy.
Where was he from though? Randall, where was he from?
I don't even know, bro. I have no idea.
Probably just a random picture.
Yeah, it's wild.
And it's crazy how like gravity like is like the center. Gravity is like what holds like everything together.
Who
Gravity
says who? Says who?
Says what I know.
No, you don't know that. It's just what somebody said.
It's a flat Earth, baby. It's a flat Earth.
No, gravity though. Gravity is a.
Explain gravity. Like, can anybody explain gravity?
I mean, I would literally have to go onto my computer, but
we gotta holler at Einstein.
I mean, I can't. I'm not
Can't explain gravity.
I'm not a physicist, but at the same time, I do know that. I mean, gravity. I mean, gravity is what makes it keeps everything together. It has an effect on the mind. It has effect on light itself. You know. I don't know. I just know.
They just tell you some shit and like you just believe it.
It's not about believing. It's about okay. Explain to me how like if I go into space, if I go to the moon, I'm able to float more freely up there than I am here.
Says who?
Good question.
Oh my God.
Says who? Says who?
I don't know who said it. I'm just saying that gravity.
But that's my point. That's my
all
point.
Things.
That's my point.
Physical spectrum.
You can't prove the theory of gravity because like somebody just made that shit up.
All right. So what you're saying is that someone made it up.
Yeah.
So nobody really knows what is really real.
Yes.
I mean, you can literally apply that to anything.
Yeah, you can.
Like that same logic, you can literally apply to anything.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. So like, what do you try and push on that?
I'm not trying to push anything. I'm asking questions. Like I said, I'm just trying to figure out. Like I was watching this shit on the other day, and I'm like, damn.
I think that's what they be doing. Like all these like universe shows on Netflix and shit. They be like Gravity, and they talk about gravity in elementary school to like make you believe some like tall tale. You can't even prove that shit. Apparently, never been to the moon. So how they gonna like film Gravity?
Says who? We ain't been to the moon.
There's comments. Says that Baconator. He got Baconator.
You know he got.
I got one over here, dog. You know I got one.
He needed one. That boy needed some milk early.
Hey, that boy was getting on my goddamn nerves.
Hey, hold on. Where you just pull a Baconator from? Like
Uber Eats that motherfucker.
Did you just go to the store?
Right.
This shit was on pause for so long. This shit was on pause for a brick. He was ordering that DoorDash.
Oh yeah.
Drop it off. Drop it off with that
That's what
Corona
he did.
with it, dog. Drop it off with the Corona, dog. Come on.
Wait, what time does Wendy's close?
He's open late.
Like one.
Oh,
What, baby?
Why is nigga standing over the phone?
Because he eating. I think he got eat.
Yeah, terrible.
Oh my god.
Hey,
Goddamn.
hey, but B, they said they finally going back to the moon like 2022, 2024.
I bet they did. They left a screwdriver up there.
That's gonna be something to see.
We haven't been to the moon in what?
Well, hey, how do you not know that this is just another form of programming and keeping us on the same cycle that niggas in the 60s was on? It's like, oh, another 60 years. Like think about 60 years, another 60 years on 2020. You know what I'm saying? Like, I forgot whatever year the moon landing was, but it's funny how 60 years later.
69 or some shit like
You know
that.
what I'm saying? Like, just another you know what I'm saying, form of programming and shit, you know.
But all
like I said, this is all hypothetical, clearly, you know what I'm saying? But why not?
But with all the SpaceX shit, so yeah, it makes sense. This dude is like propaganda, I think. Like that shit look fake. Shaq be saying that shit is like, you know what I mean, official. They make a lot of money, but that shit look fake. How the rocket fly off and land back on the same little pod? Get the fuck out of here. Nigga, I've seen.
Yeah, even like with the
Nigga, they fucking.
They're not doing that.
Nobody mathematics shit. That's the whole point of them doing this shit.
Bruh, how does it look? It looks fake. Like Christopher Nolan movies look better than that. Come on now.
I know that Space Force shit is real.
Where? What are they guarding?
No, I'm just saying that actual program, like that is now a branch of the military, like an official branch.
To make money.
Space Force.
It's a branch of the Air Force?
Nothing. They not forcing.
Yeah.
What are they enforcing?
I don't know. Vacuum cleaners. I don't know.
I don't know, nigga. I don't work for them niggas. I don't know.
That's like when you at work and then like they hire like a bullshit like assistant manager out of nowhere. Like that's the same thing. Like the nigga don't do nothing. They just got a job. That's the Space Force.
They're just here, dog. They're here. The Space Force is real.
They not doing shit. Shit be fake.
Yeah.
All I know is that my motherfucking PS5 better work nice.
I can't wait to get that bitch.
You said PS5?
Yeah.
When the pre-order.
But I don't think I'm gonna get it right as soon as it come out though. I gotta wait.
Why every
You
nigga
gotta wait a little bit.
No, I'm getting that thing.
don't every nigga say that shit?
Every nigga say that shit, and that should be right there, day one.
Mm-hmm.
I'm waiting.
Right there, day one.
Every nigga say that shit.
I'm not even gonna lie. I'm gonna get that motherfucker as soon as it come out. As soon as it come out.
Mm-hmm.
And guess what? That's just straight military technology that they like. All right, these niggas can have this shit now.
What's the
That's
first?
the next niggas.
What'd you say, Red?
What's the first games coming out on that joint?
Military games, fucking Call of
Price
Duty.
2K shit.
Oh yeah, I seen the 2K. Then I seen the little one with like like exploring and shit. Looked like she was like in the Grand Canyon or some shit.
They said that the shit is gonna be so fast. Like, let's say if we all playing a game, right? We all playing let's say some crazy ass space game. Like as soon as if somebody else wanted to join, like as soon as they boot up the PlayStation, you know how like you have to send an invite in order to jump into that game. You'll be able to just live jump into the game without no load time, no nothing. You'll just be able to just dive right into the game.
That's Ready Player One.
That's crazy. That's crazy as shit.
That's Ready Player One.
That's dope.
Like, yo,
That's
what
how
you
you
doing?
expect this shit to be.
Nigga literally can call you like, yo, I need help. I got you. Boom, I'm in there. What's up? Where you at?
They need to bring Cool Borders back.
Oh,
that was a dope ass
that's a
game.
good drum.
If you could do it like on
That's a good drum.
the VR jump.
What was School Borders? What was School Borders?
Shit, the snowboarding joint.
You do like flips and shit.
Yeah, they might. While you're at it, they might as well bring that back to Tony.
Oh, they are. They are.
The fucking skateboard shit. Tony Hawk.
They are.
For real? Yeah, they might bring that shit back.
What's the hardest video game you ever played?
Like
to beat?
Difficulty?
Yeah.
That Ninja Gaiden jump.
You said which one?
It was dumb hard.
Before that.
Hold on. Which one?
Without being able to save.
Ninja Gaiden.
That shit is ridiculous. That shit was
that
just hard.
Before he was able to save. Before he was able to save. I'm thinking back like Sonic the Hedgehog shit.
Nah,
you got 3 lives, nigga. You gotta make them 3 lives stretch, nigga.
You know what game was hard as shit on Dreamcast? Crazy Taxi.
Yeah, after a certain
that was my shit. That shit was fun though. I didn't mind starting over with that joint. That shit was fun. Crazy Taxi was fun. Dreamcast. That's probably the best game that they had on that joint. That's probably the best game they had on that.
It was.
2K.
Yeah, 2K.
Yeah, 2K was.
Nah, I hated 2K on that joint. I hated 2K on that joint.
Both 2Ks.
You gotta hit the fucking buttons on the bottom of it. Nah, I hated 2K on that.
The NFL 2K with Randy Moss. That nigga was.
Oh, Moss was good.
And that is exactly why you never had an NFL 2K after that shit. After Dreamcast, nigga. No, exactly why, because that shit was stupid.
No, it was not, bro. That shit was tough.
That shit was fucking stupid. And then everybody got back on the matchsticks.
I think it wasn't the fact that it was up and they bought him out.
Yeah, it wasn't the fact that NFL 2K was stupid. It's just the fact that it just can't compete with Madden. You know what I'm saying? That's just like the NFL. That's just like XFL. Yeah, they got the same concepts and shit as the NFL, but they just can't compete. You just can't.
I don't know.
Hey, I know one thing. NBA Live like turned into some shit. Like I don't even know.
Oh yeah.
What year? I want to say like 09. It was like 09. It was like a long ass time ago.
I think it was before then.
That shit happened when we was
For real, yeah, it was a long time ago.
I think like probably like 02. Like when 2K took off, it was like 2K4. That's when that shit took off. Like 2K4, 2K5. That's when that shit really took off.
The joint with AI.
And the 99
Yeah,
in the 2000s.
for like a couple years though.
The 99 in the 2000s.
Yeah, the first couple joints he was the cover person.
That's why I think NFL 2K had a chance. I think they did.
They had a chance, but they fucked up because it was some shit.
They probably got bought out or something. They
probably. That's what I think.
There's no way like they didn't have a chance knowing that how far Live fell off. So they had to have a chance.
Do they still make new Live?
They always like try to bring
NBA Live. Do they still make that shit?
I don't think so.
Fuck no.
NBA Live was the go-to back in the day, and then that shit fell off, and then I just got converted to 2K.
NBA Jam was a shit too, though.
Remember NBA Hang Time? That joint on PlayStation 1?
Yeah.
Was that the joint when them niggas was laughing and shit going down the court?
Nah, that shit was fun though. That shit was fun. I play all the fucking NBA games.
Hey, so they talking about the NBA. Oh, go ahead, Brian. Go ahead, Brian.
No, I was just I gotta look into it again, but they were saying that the PlayStation about to come out, but the Xbox they might have they might try and do they're trying to incorporate a part where they can do like live betting, which you may be interested in, like on games, like yeah, like odds and shit. Like that shit crazy, right?
Nigga, I wouldn't even go to work. Come on, man.
You feel like betting, huh?
That shit would be tight. Cause imagine like if you were watching the game like let's say if I'm playing Reds and you can make like a side bet and be like, oh, I bet that he win. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, but I think they're also trying to figure out like it's also tough to do that without getting people to like try to rig the system. You know what I'm saying? It's like because you can if I'm betting on you, you know what I'm saying, you can easily just lose the game, you know what I'm saying, but still we both pocket the money type shit. So
yeah, if you're doing odds, but if you're doing this straight up, like that's a different thing.
Right. Straight up money line.
That's interesting.
Pick 'em. They gotta be a pick 'em line.
Yeah, pick them. Yep.
They can't do that before PlayStation, though.
But the thing they was doing that at one point. It wasn't like Virgin, like that Virgin company was trying to like have bets on like Madden games and shit. But you had to be
They shut that shit down.
You had to be living in a certain state.
Yeah. Yep. You're right. Because I had to use a different credit card to try to do that shit.
So you just head to head, I'm with that shit.
Mm-hmm. But most of the Bammers that was on there, man, they just glitch you to death.
Yeah.
You just be like, damn. These niggas don't really know how to play Madden. They just know the glitches.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I don't even want to play no more. Take my ball and go.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So we ain't
What
get
y'all niggas doing tomorrow?
we ain't get to ask the question of is there such thing as being well, I'm about to change the question. Is there such thing as being too woke? Because obviously, like, we are like conscious of our surroundings and shit. I wouldn't say woke, but we conscious of our surroundings. Is there thing being too woke?
Well, I would say as far as that topic, because when I originally saw it, I would say that being woke and being conscious are two different things. Because I feel like being woke is being more socially aware of being aware of it's like whatever being presented in mainstream media, then you dissecting the mainstream media narratives. That's being woke. You know what I'm saying? Being conscious has nothing to do with mainstream and what's going on in society. Being conscious is more about, a spiritual awareness. You know what I'm saying? But I feel like being woke is more rooted in what's going on in social media and what's being presented, like knowing, just being aware of all the shit that's going on and what's being presented towards you in social media. So I feel like being woke and being conscious are two completely different things.
Yeah.
So would you say you on your own shit as far as being conscious and as far as being woke, you more about the social aspect of shit?
Yeah, but I think woke is more of a social thing, and I think conscious is more of like your
Just you
internal.
and your own well
You know what I'm
being.
saying? It's more about your spirit. It's just it's a spiritual understanding. You know what I'm saying? Or developing a spiritual understanding. You know what I'm saying?
So
Two completely different things.
because you don't think woke could be your conscious thing, because like some of the times, like even as you think about like some of the times that make it to social media or social programming or what have you, those are some things that are also underlined and like based off of like your own enlightenment. Whereas though, like, yes, it might be something that is like a controversial or a topic that is being pushed in the mainstream or pushed on social. But I feel like I me personally, I feel like woke and conscious are the same, and I think that it's more so about being enlightened as opposed to like being like thinking about it like socially woke or conscious of different things. Because like if honestly I don't even like the terms as it is, because like woke and conscious makes it seem like everybody else who isn't the same isn't thinking about life or isn't thinking about different things, different aspects of life in a more in-depth term. And so if you are thinking about it in that way, you're supposed to be woke or conscious of different things as opposed to like actually wanting to be enlightened and different things of that nature. And I think that's the way I look at it. I don't necessarily even know about like I don't agree with like the term woke or conscious or anything of the sort. Like I said, I feel like it's all about like how you envision life and how you process things and want to go deeper into like learning about things. Because yeah.
Just to respond to that, I would say as far as like when it's speaking and using terms conscious and woke, it's not necessary. It's more about like, you know, just in terms of communication. It's like if somebody was to use the word conscious, like, okay, you talking in that ballpark over there, so I'm using the word conscious. It's not like some like, you know, I'm higher than those who are not. It's just like speaking like, okay, that person, thinks beyond the surface. I mean, at the end of the day, that's what I mean. It kind of is. At the end of the day, it's like, yeah, everybody has the ability to look beyond the surface, but then there's some people who do it more than others. You know what I'm saying? But also, what I would say, as far as like the being woke and being conscious thing, I would say that the only thing I would separate with that is you don't have to have a television, you don't have to have a social media, you don't have to have a newspaper. You don't need to know what the government is doing. That has nothing to do with your consciousness. That's spiritual. Like even if a system didn't exist, if a newspaper never exists, if a president never existed, you could still be conscious. But being woke is being indulging in what's going on in the system, what's going on within those realms. Like that's being woke from my perspective. Like because when people talk about like as far as my perspective, when people say they woke, they're always talking about like governments and presidents and injustices and shit like that. Conscious, when people are so-called being conscious, at least from in terms of the word, they're like talking on shit that you can't see with your eyes. It's like it's beyond the five senses. You know what I'm saying? That's what being conscious is. Like being woke is like indulging in the physical shit. You know what I'm saying? If that makes
Would you
sense.
say
You know what I mean?
being woke is a step behind being conscious with the consciousness?
I mean, woke, I think
Or
that
step
woke
two?
is still some. I mean, you got to ask questions. So that's all that matters. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, as long as you question something, that's all that fucking matters. So that's fucking being woke. The fact that you even question, that's the way it all begins, asking questions. You know what I'm saying? But even if a person is focusing on what's going on in society, and a person is focusing on what's going on in their life, that like, because to me, consciousness is like about like knowing the symbolism of what happens in your life and your connection with a higher being, with God. You're like, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, oh, this happened today. That was a divine intervention. You know what I'm saying? That's consciousness. You know what I'm saying? It's like, oh, this random act happened in my life. That's God communicating to me through this person. That's consciousness. You see what I'm saying? Like wokeness is focusing on you know what I'm saying? What the hell is going on in society? That's, I think those are, if I can clarify it, if I can make sense, like when you look in that world at the life from a spiritual perspective, you know what I'm saying? Like even in church, people talk like seeing things like, you know, as if God is communicating through other people. Random acts happen. You might be put in a situation where you have to make a split decision, like in this moment, and it's like, this is God testing me in this moment. Did I make the right decision? Like you see shit like that. That's what I mean. And then you don't have to necessarily be smart to think like that. You can just be spiritually inclined. You can have a relationship with God. You can be the dumbest book smart dude. You might not think, but as long as you're thinking like that, to me, that's conscious. Like that's how I look at it. You know?
So would you say one is better than the other?
No, I think it's levels to shit. Like, I mean, you can have one without the other, but you can definitely have, you know, both. Hey, but
the thing as far as the quote unquote consciousness, there's no cap on it. You know what I'm saying? Like because there's no limit understanding and learning. So at the end of the day, it's like, you know, as long as you asking questions, that's all that really fucking matters. You know, at the end of the day. You know,
do you think certain people can be too woke?
I think, I think so, because I think sometimes you can go too deep into a rabbit hole. Like I said, there's nothing wrong with asking questions, but you can get unbalanced and get too one-sided and too deep into a certain perspective that you think that's just all it is. I feel like being too woke is when you think there's only, you know, one answer. You know what I'm saying? I feel like if you're just not open-minded to possibilities, then you capping yourself off. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to say. Exactly. I feel like that's probably like what that shit mean. Like I feel like when you think you know everything, then that's when you fucking like, you going off the deep end. Like, you know what I'm saying? I think that's kind of what that shit is.
You lose that rationale and everything.
You lose the rationale, yeah. And don't get me wrong, because sometimes you do have to go off the deep ends in order to see where you was fucking up at, in order to even to a higher level of understanding. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like sometimes you might think like, oh, I get it now, and then you hold on to that so hard, and then one day you realize that you was tripping, but like now you have such a deeper understanding on the left side and the right side, because now, you know what I'm saying? So even when you do that, is you still asking questions, you still gaining knowledge, but you have to be open to the possibility of being wrong. Like that's the key. Like you got to be open to being wrong. You know what I'm saying? Because if you're not, then you're not gonna learn nothing new. You know what I'm saying? It's just that simple. You know.
That's the biggest thing.
Yep. That's literally all it is. And a lot of that's what's so important about this show, and even over time. Like you can't be afraid to just get those ideas out, because you know what I'm saying? It's not about being right. It's like sometimes you can just bounce your information off other people. It ain't even about being right. Like I can get a deeper understanding of what I think based off how Alex responded to what I said,
exactly,
or how you responded to what I said. Even if you don't agree with me, you're making me question myself. So now I have to look deeper into my shit. You know what I'm saying? So it's not about being right. It's just better about just gaining a better, a deeper understanding. You know what I'm saying? I think that's literally what all that shit is about.
Like I said, like we got a good bullshit meter. So I think like we be like semi-different, but still on the same path. So like it's all balanced. We all got a good bullshit
meter. And to piggyback on that, I just wanted to go back to the Kamala Harris shit. So
this man's faint.
Was your bullshit meter raised when you seen Kamala Harris was picked as the VP?
You know his running mate is bullshit. Like so, like all this shit's bullshit. You said the shit. The 2016 was bullshit, right? So this shit is bullshit. You see the shit. Like it's just like how much are you gonna like where do you draw the line?
Yeah.
Where do you draw the line?
I feel like at any time, I thought it was last time when we had to vote between fucking Hillary and Trump. I think this is like the real less of two evils, the lesser of two evils, honestly, dog.
How?
Honestly, because we got Bama out here. We call him Creepy Joe. We know what Trump has done. It's already been out there. They got video recordings and everything.
Hillary was worse. Hillary was worse.
You think so?
But whole time, if we talk about Hillary,
they stopped her coming out.
Say it again.
All the information they stopped coming out about her is like this Epstein shit don't like compare to the shit.
But I was
Clinton was on the jet, private jet. Go ahead, Alex.
No, I was just gonna say as far as expertise. So expertise, like the same way we talk about, she had the expert. I'll just keep it like this. She had the expertise, and she had so many different levels of working in so many different administrations and everything of that nature. And so we talk about the lesser of two evils. I don't even think. I think right now in 2020 we might be at a more lesser of two evils as opposed to 2016, simply because in 2016 we're talking about expertise versus a reality star with money,
right?
And in terms of like actually like running a fucking, I want to say running a government or assisting in running in the government as opposed to assisting and running in a business.
But Al, it is
It is business.
I feel like
I completely know everything is business.
Like, why do everybody? What Corey said earlier, like what makes her qualified? What makes folks qualified? They easily step in. And they don't miss a beat. Like, don't that tell you like there's a standard operating procedures in place and shit like that?
mm-hmm.
I don't know about that one, yo. I don't know about that one because you talk about standard operating procedures, and that nigga's like, fuck all them because I'm gonna fire everybody in my cabinet. I'm gonna fire everybody. Like if you
all of them do that. All of them do that. All of them do that, and all.
Nah, but they all do that. But at the same time, they replace somebody. Like this nigga is firing people, and literally, it's no person that's being. And I mean, I know I don't want to say I know it's probably been done before. But he's doing the jump, and like it seems like it's at a peak level right now. And it might be just because we might be more knowledgeable about the shit. But like right now, it seems like he's firing people, putting nobody in place, and then it's like,
and then that shit is just vacant, dog. We don't even have that department no more. That shit is just vacant.
Paid attention to
Hey, so who y'all voting for? Who y'all voting for?
Nigga, that is a question. That's a question. That's a.
Don't even answer that question.
I ain't voting.
I know what I'm saying. You know they say you're not supposed to tell people who you're voting for. You know that's the same shit.
Yeah, that's a white people shit. I don't give a fuck, but still.
Why they do that? So you can like calculate in your head.
I don't know. I just felt like it was always proper, like a respect thing. Like you're not supposed to. You know. I don't know. That's why I always thought it.
Because
the
most like
depends on where you at though. You know people over here are gonna vote Democrat regardless. They're gonna vote Democrat.
But why
you last election? When it was with Trump versus Hillary, you didn't even have to vote, nigga. You already know everybody's gonna vote Hillary over here.
Nah. I can't let you get that one off.
Shit.
Only because, like we think about that, like, and we talk about like like people not necessarily voting and shit, and like people vote for. People either vote or don't vote for what is aligned. Sometimes people vote for what is aligned directly with their family and not necessarily what's best for the community or what's best for society as a whole. So some
agree with that.
Vote like based off of like they know for a fact, and I don't even want to put names, but they know for a fact like the Republican Party. I'll say the Republican Party might be better suited towards like what's best for them, for their family, and their direct impact. But they know for a fact, like the community at whole might be better if they bet Democrat, or I can say it vice versa if it makes it any better. But like at the same time, like I also think that another reason that we don't talk about who you're supposed to vote for is another reason because it gets like real chippy and it gets real different. It gets real chippy, and it's like one of those things where you're supposed to not talk about like how much money you make in the workplace, religion. And politics, and I think the reason that you're quote unquote not supposed to talk about those things is because people hold those ties and those like different things like real true to them, like those are their beliefs, like they're gonna go die by the sword.
But
on those
did
things.
you have any question in your mind that in the DMV niggas was voting for Hillary? That is my question.
Yes. Once again,
a doubt.
No, listen, Corey, listen. Once again, Corey, listen. So you're talking about individuals that I know for a fact. I don't know everybody's individual like stances or in different things, but
I'm saying from what you see go on out here in the DMV, man, from day to day basis, it's not there may be some underhanded racist shit, or
Corey,
it's not going to be overtly racist shit. But did you have any doubt in your mind,
Corey,
that niggas was going for Hillary over here?
Corey, can I finish? Corey, can I finish?
Your phone be drowning niggas out, bro.
I'm sorry.
A Zoom terrorist.
I'm sorry.
Listen, so once again, like there are people on all sides of the spectrum. So like even like once again, like in our community, and even still, like we know there are people who. And so even if I don't vote for Hillary in that point in time of quote unquote a not vote for Hillary is a vote for Trump, or a vote for, if I vote independent, it's a quote unquote vote for Trump. So just people say they voted or they did not vote for Hillary, that does not necessarily, I mean that also means that they could have supported Trump. But you're saying you're including the whole DMV, and you can't include the whole, because people vote for what's best. Some people vote best for them and their personal situation.
Yeah.
So some people being as though they know that, hypothetically speaking, that I won't get taxed as much if I vote for Trump. They're going to vote that way, and they live in the DMV, so you can't necessarily put everybody in that DMV.
I understand what you're saying. I hear you. I hear what you're saying. But historically, this is a Democratic area.
He just basically saying generally, Corey, you just basically saying generally niggas gonna vote Democrat out here.
They're going Democrats all day. And it was a fucking. I was very surprised that Hogan is our fucking governor, or whatever the fuck out this joint. I was very surprised with that shit. But he as he said, he wrote the rainbow out this joint, the blue and red rainbow out this joint, the purple rainbow out this joint. And he doing all right. He ain't fucking niggas over. You know what I'm saying? And he does not fuck with Trump for real. And I'll fuck with him if he's Republican, I will fuck with him. We need more people like that.
But also, Corey, I want you to know he also could necessarily. I mean, and I don't know
like this whole like I said this shit before. This whole Corona state level, sanctions and shit like that. This is all trials for the big state, for these governors, mayors, and all that shit. You know what I mean? Even like the protests and shit, like which mayor and governor handle that shit the best. This is all trials.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but still, but he shut shit down. Even when Trump was talking that bullshit, there's no such thing as Corona. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Well, he was saying some dumb shit. Trump was saying some dumb shit, and Hogan was like, "No, we shutting the shit down, nigga.
Right?
We're gonna be realistic about it, and we're gonna shut shit down because niggas is getting fucked up out this joint." And here we are now, Trump. We in fucking June or July when he wanted to say, "Oh yeah, it's a problem out this joint." Hogan been shut shit down.
Oh, Corey, but
did Hogan fix it? Like, he's still fucked up.
Corey,
he's not the president. There's nothing he can do to fix it. He can tame this shit. He can quarantine shit.
So what more responsibility it is for the president than the Hogan? Because you gave Hogan big responsibility.
What do you mean more responsibility, nigga? He's supposed to be over the whole country. What are you talking about? We're talking about somebody who has responsibility over a certain part of the United States, and we're talking about somebody who runs the whole fucking country, supposedly.
So Corey, you just talked about.
That's not even a question.
You talked about Hogan. You talked about Hogan and how he shut shit down and like set rules and shit for Maryland, right? So yeah. Hogan shut shit down and he did everything for Maryland. He set up an executive.
He did what he could do as a fucking state governor. Yes.
Right. So let me finish one more time. So he set shit down and he did everything for Maryland schools and shit, whereas though he shut Maryland schools down and everything of that sort. And then all of a sudden Trump pushed back and said that you shouldn't be able to do that. Big money pushed back. And then Hogan shut down. I mean, like Hogan took back his law and order or whatever the fuck it was for Montgomery County schools, and said that private schools have their own ability to make their own rules for local education agencies have their own ability to make rules for how they're going to set schools in place for the upcoming school year. And guess where Donald J. Trump's son goes, or I don't want to say son, whatever Baron or whatever the fuck, somebody in his lineage is going to school. They're going to school in Montgomery.
Yeah, I was looking at schools out there. Yeah, I was looking at schools out there. Yeah,
that's a direct. I'm sorry, that could be a direct effect of like the Trump effect. Like, so you can't necessarily say like he's pushing shit, he's doing shit, because this also could be that play of, you know what I'm saying, both sides of the spectrum.
I want to say that because Montgomery County has the best schools in Maryland, and they have the most money and the most money.
It's actual Howard County.
Yeah, Howard County is right there too. Yeah.
No, Howard County is number one.
Number one, okay. They're number one with schools, but Montgomery County is like one of the richest counties, and I'm not gonna say one of. They're the richest county in Maryland. They're the richest county in Maryland, so they have the money to do whatever the fuck they want to do, and they have the most prestigious. If you want to talk about private schools, they have the most prestigious counties, prestigious schools in Maryland. Dog.
This thing be speaking.
Tell me I'm lying. Tell me I'm lying. They don't have the most prestigious private schools in Maryland.
I think you are.
I'm lying. Oh, okay. Okay.
Name a few.
I mean, what Bullet? You can say Bullets. Fucking because Dwayne Haskins went to Bullets. Good Counsel.
The council's still there.
No,
Montrose
that's a
Christian.
Catholic school. No, I'm
Montrose
talking about
Christian.
Catholic
Montrose
school.
not
This
there no
more.
more. Montrose
This
not
more
there.
Oh,
because I went to go look
Montrose is
up.
gone.
Montrose gone.
I had no fucking idea. I had no idea.
Hmm.
Damn.
Neither.
I gotta drive by there again. Like I had no idea. But what else is there? Is there any other?
The
Oh,
joint that
fucking
Trump's son go to.
St. John's. St. John's.
Another Catholic school.
Oh, that's right. I don't know. You're right. I'm tripping. I'm all the way lunching with that one.
Dog. They got money out there in Montgomery County.
I don't know. I can't think of nobody else.
Most
Oh,
receipts.
Landon.
Don't lie to me.
Landon.
Don't
Oh,
lie
that's
to
a-
me. Montgomery
right.
County got money.
Yeah,
Don't
Landon.
lie.
Georgetown Prep.
Yeah, Georgetown Prep too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Don't lie to me.
Montgomery
Montgomery County got
Well,
money.
hold on. Is Landon in Montgomery County?
It's either in Chevy Chase,
Langdon.
Landon.
Landon. They like
Landon.
they vicious at like lacrosse and shit.
Montgomery
Shit,
County
talking
got
about
money.
sports. Let's get into the league real quick.
Okay.
NBA,
okay.
NBA that is. Who under 25 do y'all think most likely is going to be the first player to win MVP, or at least y'all see winning the MVP? You know, in the near future.
That nigga who I was talking about, I call him Young Dirk. Yeah, I was like, nah, that ain't Young Dirk.
Luka.
With Mavs.
Luka, that's what I was going to say. I was going to go with Luka. I think Luka going to get that. Like as long as Dallas, goes in deep, going to be right behind Luka. But then again, he's a foreign player, and I feel like the NBA don't really be fucking with them foreign niggas like that. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know, but
For MVP?
I definitely think he's going to be an MVP type player.
Yeah,
Look, if you look at his numbers, he damn near averaging a triple double, and this nigga like 21. You know what I'm saying? It's like, what the fuck? So I feel like I definitely see that shit coming.
But the whole
and averaging like 30 a game.
The whole Giannis, he won MVP. So
How old is Giannis right now? About
Giannis
25.
25. So like I'm saying, like the NBA do love foreign players. It's an international game.
Oh yeah, I guess you can say that. Yeah. But either way, yeah, Luka. I think Luka definitely gonna be the one.
Hell yeah.
They're saying he's gonna be the next. He
Got anybody else?
He's gonna be the dog.
I say maybe Jason Tatum, just because he's always going to be like on a competing team in the East.
And he gonna get better. I think only thing he got to do is just get stronger.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And just because his offensive skill set's through the roof. Like he can score from anywhere. So he just gotta get stronger. I think that's the only thing. And more season, more experience. You know what I'm saying? That's about it.
And he's in the East. So he don't necessarily have to go there wear and tear.
Good coach. They're going to be competitive. Like, you could put up like big numbers, but I think if your team's not competitive, you can't be in the running for it.
Yep, and he with the season. I'm gonna go sleeper. I don't necessarily think he's gonna get MVP or anything close to that, but one player I would love, and I think he has the opportunity to grow and be one of those household names. Shea Gilchrist Alexander, or however you say his name, Shea in Oklahoma City. Like legit, like Oklahoma City puts together different teams. They find like the underrated superstars or underrated athletes, make them Bama superstars. They put players and they put systems around the Bamas where as though they can grow. Shea is 22 and he has the opportunity to learn from Chris Paul right now. And I know we all have our different views on Chris Paul, but Chris Paul is one of the greats in terms of like being a point guard, but also being a leader and a competitor. So actually having like that tutelage and mentorship under above him for an entire year or however long Chris Paul is there, that jump could translate well for Shea. Of course, I would say Devin Booker in that same conversation. We're seeing what he's doing right now, and he being lights out. But I don't have faith in Phoenix. Like, I mean, and Phoenix putting a team around him that can actually make him a compatible. I mean, a comparable NBA superstar that allows him to be one of the faces of the league for generations of years. Yeah.
Yeah, I actually also fuck with Ja Morant. I think Ja in maybe 3-4 years, I think he could get to that level. You know what I'm saying? Because I think as far as just pure athleticism, what other point guard was this athletic coming out probably since like John Wall? You know what I'm saying? Maybe Russell Westbrook. Even De'Aaron Fox. I know a lot of people say De'Aaron Fox is like maybe the fastest point guard in the league, but like to me, Ja Morant is like Vince Carter at point guard, like as far as his athleticism. You know what I'm saying? But like, and he can score. You see, if you watch his games, you see his vision, like how he set shit up. His passing ability is great, handles crazy. You know what I'm saying? You can develop him as a shooter, and he's a great leader. You see how he got that team kind of the camaraderie and got them in the position where they at right now. So I think, and you can tell them niggas play for him, like they, you know what I'm saying? Like they got his back, like on the court. So you can just tell, like I think Ja definitely a potential MVP type nigga when he get a few years from now. You know what I'm saying?
He's the youngest out of the bunch for real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Either 20 or 21. Yeah.
Probably might be about 20.
The craziest part is Ja's in his first year. Luka's in what year is Luka in? Second, third?
Third, I think.
This nigga Luka's in his third, baby. We'll say third. I think he is in his third, but Luka's in his third year, and this nigga's been playing pro ball for fucking like 8 years now, 9 years now, and he's 21. He's 21 playing pro ball. Like I know the Spain league or wherever he was playing at is totally different from the NBA, but like you actually have that experience of like playing on the road day in and day out with hostile
grown ass men.
Yeah, and grown men for real. Yeah. Luka's a problem.
Yeah, I say Luka, Tatum, Booker got to get off Phoenix, and Ja Morant. They probably gonna build. They gonna get like a couple more draft picks, hopefully.
Yep.
What about Zion?
Do y'all feel like Zion might like his weight is like a problem? Like him being like super athletic, like in the long run?
Yeah. But he carries his weight well. Like the nigga be looking nimble. He looks nimble on the fucking court. Like he don't be looking like, slower at all.
I think like sometimes like his future like injury problems because he be having like these little tweaks. So, like there's gonna be a tweak there. It's like he's too big to be jumping and moving like he be doing.
Yeah.
And it also like I
feel
like I don't know. Sometimes I'll be looking at that nigga and it seems like he don't like being famous or something. Like you know what I'm saying? Like I don't know. I feel like he's a kind of shy, introverted. He don't like the spotlight at all. He just want to play basketball. And you know what I'm saying? He seems like a very simple kid. Like he doesn't want like he. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't see him, but he's probably not a flashy type nigga. He probably games be over. He go home and just chill with his mom. Like you know what I'm saying?
I know what you're saying. The crazy part about it is I feel like John Wall was like that too when he first came out. Like especially like during his interviews and shit. Like I remember. Well, I don't necessarily know.
He was welcome to that shit.
No,
I remember that nigga used to dance. Remember?
No, that's what I'm saying. I feel like he used to dance. I'm sorry. I'm trying to separate the two. I feel like he used to dance and like do like the different things to hype up his team and different things for the game and shit. But as far as like actually being like a quote unquote people person, he was super shy and like. Or maybe he just wasn't like used to talking. I don't know how he wasn't used to talking, but as a number one pick and number one recruit coming out of high school and shit, but he just wasn't used to the cameras and shit in front of him, like actually recording and talking about shit. He's gotten a little bit better, but I feel like John wasn't ready for that shit, especially like John nor Derrick Rose as we talk about it too. But
yeah. Rose again, yeah.
I think Zion. I think he's too heavy. I honestly think.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Like I seen a meme and I seen a clip of that shit said Zion run like he's chasing after like a nigga that's holding the door for you and you don't really want to run.
But the thing was Zion is like, even with all that being said, that nigga will give you 24 and 22 minutes. You know what I'm saying? Off of straight offensive boards, and you know what I'm saying? It's like
some
shit is crazy.
For some reason, I think we're just gonna get cheated out of his career. It's gonna be like one of them stories.
Yeah,
Because like, he's going like chronic, like I don't know, like some type of like injury.
He had too much hype.
No, I'm saying no. He's worth the hype. I'm just saying like his size and like his natural ability is not gonna like mesh together.
Especially because I think they about to fire Gentry, so they about to get a new coach in there. So they're gonna have to get a new coach in there that's gonna play to their system, that's gonna play to Lonzo.
So tickets and shit. So you gotta be jumping and running, and you gotta be doing all that.
Yeah, man.
And that's gonna be exciting too. It's gonna be exciting.
And funny thing though, when I watch Zion play, whenever he does like kind of fall off balance a little bit or like seem like he might slip, it always looks like this nigga's about to be injured. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's not like, oh, he might. You know what I'm trying to say? It's like everything. You know what I'm saying? It's not like it's like he falls hard when he falls. You know what I'm saying? It's like that type of shit.
You remember that?
I don't know. We'll see, man. I hope the best for him. But I guess he is gonna have to lose some weight. But I hope the best for him though, you know, because we ain't never seen a nigga like a freak of nature for real. Like we ain't never seen no shit like this before. A nigga like with his size, with his and for real, he got other aspects to his game. Like he got a nice little spot up. He can hit the three every now and then. He got a great passing ability. I think nobody ever talked about his ability to pass. So I mean, and he can still give you 10, 12 boards. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, we'll see.
The nature of the beast, nature of the game. Everybody got to do something now.
But it's funny, like, that nigga's like a tool. Like, you know, he's like a weapon. That's what he is. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't even have to play a lot. You don't even have to run plays for this nigga, and he'll still give you 20 and 10. You know what I'm saying? Off of without even having to put the ball in his hand. He'll just find a way.
Nature of the beast. Nature of the beast. Cause I know he ain't bigger than Shaq when he came into the motherfucking league.
Yeah, I think he is. I think the only thing is, I think Shaq's weight was distributed a little bit better. Shaq is 7'1", 6, whatever you want to say he was, 6'11", 7'3", however you want to say.
He's 7-something. He's 7-something.
Yeah, but
I think they were saying Shaq was 7'2", from what I remember.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's what they said.
But Zion is literally, if you look at it, Zion is apparently between 6'6" to 6'80". I mean 6'8", 6'9", weighing more than what Shaq weighed, and he's doing more than what Shaq did.
Yeah,
like,
that's what I'm saying. That's the nature of the beast. This is new game. This is a new game. Everybody got to come out here dropping buckets. Everybody got to drop buckets from the 3-point line or some shit. It's the nature of the beast.
Nah, but so Shaq was giving you buckets off the low post, off the dunk on you and shit. And like Zion's giving you buckets off the I'm gonna do everything. I can shoot the three, I can run the lane, and I can beat everybody in transition and get a highlight reel. But I just don't know how you can do that for a true a long career at 6'6", 6'8", 3-something.
Mm-hmm.
It just
and he looked like he the type of like the dude. Like it's hard for him to keep his weight down. You know what I'm saying? Like he seemed like the type, if he lose 15, he'll gain 25 back. You know what I'm saying? Like he seemed like that guy.
Yeah, and I know he's cut the fuck. I don't want to say this shit sound weird, but I know he's cut the fuck up, and like it looks like good, but that shit don't. I don't think that shit's still gonna translate well. Like especially like when you think about like the bump and grind of an NBA season, 82 games. It's not college where he's playing 3 games a year or something like that. This nigga's supposed to play 82 games plus.
Mm-hmm.
Do people really have this conversation? Because I thought I was the only one that thought this. Like the nigga was too big.
No, he too big. He the same nigga that slid out his shoe, right? Fucked up his whole shoe.
Yeah.
You too big, dog. You too big, dog.
That nigga exploded. I ain't never seen a nigga explode through his shoe, like in real life or on TV.
And we
Like that.
wasn't even doing nothing but just switching.
I ain't gonna lie to you. So I've seen it done, but I've also seen that shit done like based off of like wear and tear of like a nigga's shoes just giving out like I'm saying like all some years of playing in
Nah,
Yeah.
fresh out the box, dog. Fresh out the box.
them shits was like a first day out the box, like boom. If I'm not mistaken, that was a North Carolina game, and that shit was like within the first
quarter
of the game or some shit like that. Yeah, that shit ain't good.
Everybody was gasping.
She was just like, no mas. No mas. No mas. You too big, dog. Too big. No mas.
I don't want it to happen, but like, goddamn, that shit look like it.
Yeah, you gotta lose some fucking weight. Shit, this is time to do it. Coronavirus, nigga. Get your ass in the gym, run around. It's time to do it.
He was in the gym because like he got a little more cut, but he's always going to have that weight.
What they call it? Big bone? He always gonna be big bone?
Yeah, basically.
He like
Big bone.
he got the same body as like a young Rodney Rogers, but he can jump out the gym like fucking Vince Carter. Like it don't add up.
Mm-hmm.
That Sam Birkin.
Rest in peace.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So work that shit out. Wait.
Hey, Sam Perkins had the best left-handed shot of all time. Oh, and Derek Fisher.
Michael Reed.
Hold on. What about
Mike Red.
Chris Muller.
Oh, Katino Mobley.
Oh yeah.
Who?
Michael Red might have been up there though. Michael Red was up there.
This sounds like a little like floppy.
I mean, but I like it. It was unique. You know what I'm saying? But it worked though. That shit used to be wet.
Chris Mullin?
No, I'm talking about Michael Red.
Chris Mullin had left hand JJ.
Nah, he was left. He was a lefty.
Because I thought y'all said Ginobili for a second. I thought y'all said Ginobili.
Ginobili a lefty?
Yep.
Hell yeah.
I thought y'all said Ginobili for a second.
OG, you're
Damn.
right.
And we just like forgetting about James Harden.
Oh yeah.
I know, right? How we named all the lefties.
Don't James Harden look chubby as shit in this bubble?
Yes.
Chubby as shit. Like this thing was going hard on the fucking cheesecake.
Right. He's like, fuck it, we not gonna have no season this year. Fuck it.
That's probably what happened.
Chubby as shit. But he's still limber as hell.
Eating the shit out of Baconators.
I was gonna say that nigga's he looks like a snacker. That nigga's a snacker.
Like you just get home and just
he can't help it. Like he gotta have like his treats. You know what I'm saying? I feel like he's one of them niggas.
But
they're here, ain't they? They're here.
Jump, but he's just gonna be snacking.
Mm-hmm.
I fucking even though I'll take that Londo out. I'm gonna go on record. If the Houston Rockets are playing the Portland Trailblazers in the first round.
Oh, Thunder.
The Thunder. So all right. So what line is it? Who's the fave?
That'd be the Rockets.
The Rockets probably the faves.
Hey, what's the matchups?
I don't know if they've been fully set yet. I think the 1-8 hasn't. Okay. But I think everybody else is. But I need to look at it. Let's see.
Yeah, right. The last game is they not playing no more? The last game was today, right? So it should be set now.
All right. I'm not even talking about the East because the East, you already know that shit, right? All right, well, I just said fuck it. East is Milwaukee and Orlando, Toronto and Brooklyn, Boston and Philly, Miami and Indiana. And for the West is Los Angeles.
Off break.
Say it again.
Boston and Philly off break.
Boston and Philly off break. Yep. With no Ben Simmons, I think, right?
Yeah, Boston got that.
Yeah. So and then for the West, we got the Lakers and whoever the play-in game is between. They got Portland, Phoenix, and Memphis for that.
So they still got it open.
Yeah.
But how they gonna have a playing game with 3 teams?
I have no clue, man. Let's find out. It's actually might be 4 teams. It might be 4 teams.
In San Antonio.
Yeah. Memphis, Portland, San Antonio, Phoenix. So if the team with the 8 seed in the conference is ahead of the 19, no playing tournament is needed by 4 games. But if the 8 seed is 4 games or fewer ahead of the 9th place team, a play-in tournament will decide who gets into the playoffs. It would be a best of 2 with the 8 seed needing to win 1 game. That's the traditional. But how you gonna do that shit with 4 teams?
So what's the other matchups?
The Clippers and the Mavs, the Nuggets and the Jazz, and Houston and Oklahoma City.
That was good.
I got the Nuggets beating the Jazz.
Hey, you know what I did last week, or whenever we talked about it last? I slept on the Raptors, yo. I slept on the Raptors. I think the Raptors have a good chance, yo.
I picked that too. Yeah, I think we definitely didn't bring them up though. I don't know how we didn't. I know. Definitely slept on them.
Oh, you know who else y'all slept on? Steelers, Pittsburgh Steelers.
I knew this nigga was about to say that shit.
I should have seen that
This
coming.
nigga was about to say that shit.
If all else fails, that's what it's gonna be.
We coming.
Yeah, so all 4 teams are competing for 2 spots in the NBA's first ever play-in tournament, and the race is coming down to the wire. Hold on, let's see.
Oh, we having an NFL season now.
Hell no.
That's gonna fuck shit up.
Didn't they show a little bit of Hard Knocks already?
And they better not piss me off and play in the fucking summer. They better not piss me off. Because then I'm gonna be like, where the next season start? They better not piss me off. They might as well, if they're not gonna do it right, they might as well just not have no season. Simple as that.
So they have Hard Knocks already?
What?
Hard Knocks.
With who?
Both LA teams.
Chargers. Any Chargers?
I think it's both
Chargers,
LA teams, right?
Huh?
I think it's both LA teams.
Chargers and Rams?
Right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's cool. Just split it up.
They said that they got some I need to look at it, but they said they have some COVID measures and shit like in place at the Chargers facility that is like impeccable. I know I seen the Broncos shit where they got like a disinfectant spray before you walk onto the field. Yeah.
You gotta walk through the gas. You gotta walk through the gas to get on the field.
But why,
live with it.
Why like all these sports are like the leading way to the COVID resolution?
Huh?
Wanna know why? No, it's not only because they got the money. Well, that also they got
the views.
They got the views, but they also got the fucking they also need the money. They also know that
Yeah.
black people need the money and shit, and like we can push them as trial dummies, or I don't want to say trial dummies, but we need them as entertainment. Like the same way that these niggas are pushing pushing the college football players to go out and play and shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like we need the views and shit, but won't need them alive. Basically, I'll say we could do without them. We could do that. I mean, it's the whole gladiator mentality and shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like we can go ahead and put them niggas on Saturdays or Sundays, you know, and watch them for entertainment.
Football? All right.
And watch them for entertainment, but as far as like needing them to actually live or whatever, like we'll be all right.
Mm-hmm. That's why the Steelers are the last of the three. The last of the three teams, and ain't got nobody opting out. Mm-hmm. We ready. We don't want to hear no shit. We don't want to hear no shit when we win this shit. We don't want to hear nothing. I want to hear nothing about, oh yeah, somebody wasn't playing, OBJ wasn't playing, Tom Brady wasn't. I want to hear no shit. I want to hear no shit. Everybody had their chance. They had their chance. Just give us that thing. Give us that thing. Mm-hmm. That's how it's gonna be.
Yeah.
Oh.
Shut up.
Talking big shit. He talking big shit.
I can't wait.
Like you about to run on the field with him.
Fuck yeah, I be feeling like that every season. Every season. Let's go. Where my helmet at, dog? Let's go.
And then they go bored. Right, checks their ass can't catch.
It's always something, dog. There's always something, dog. That should be blown.
All right, man. Go ahead, close out, young. Go ahead, close out. This thing.
It's always something. Let's talk about the Steelers. It's always something, dog. Who closing it? Go ahead.
Well, I hope y'all enjoy y'all time with us. You know, another classic overtime episode. A whole bunch of different topics attacked. A lot of deep conversation. You know what I'm saying? Like, subscribe, follow the channel, Flight Room, and we see y'all.
Yeah. Now let's talk about them Steelers. Yeah. So
Nah, I'm out.